Hello and welcome back, Malo here, and today we're playing Minecraft Regrowth. And in the last episode we got our storage system, our ME storage system up and running, and I said that I was going to start doing some other things, like building and maybe other things besides building, and you can see that I have done some other things here. You can see indeed that I have done some witchery things because I have started to go down that tree, and it turns out actually I should have waited until after Botania to go down witchery because there are some things in witchery, such as the attuned stone, which are pretty much necessary for lots of things in witchery, which you need to be at near the end of the Botania tree to do. So I'm glad I did things in the order I did things in, but also I can accept some quests now, so let's do that. So first of all, I had to create a couple more seeds. I have 14 quests with unclaimed rewards. Let's see, what do we have in here? Alright, so we got these quests. They were unlocked by some of the things in witchery that I've done, and they're books that I've already created. And I should have already created this one too, but it requires one of two quests to be completed elsewhere. Or it requires two quests to be completed elsewhere, and I've only completed one of them. But let's claim these rewards. There we go. That's for brews and infusions, and this is for distilling. And I get some rewards for those. And then let's see, what else do we have? We had to create, like I said, a couple seeds. We had to create artichoke and snowbell seeds. So let's accept the rewards for those. And a couple icy needles, which I actually haven't gotten yet because I just created the snowbell seeds. I didn't actually grow them yet. And then let's do some witchery quests. So I did I created the altar down here, you can see, and I have some things on it, but the altar power that's associated with it, let's see, is only 2272, which isn't enough to do some of the things I want to do. So, but let's go ahead and start accepting these quest things anyway. So I get Spanish moss, pumpkins, and melons out of that, which doesn't help me that much. This you have to create anointing paste, which is why I had to create the seeds, because you need mandrake, snowbell, belladonna, and water artichoke seeds in order to create one anointing paste. And then you right-click with the anointing paste on a cauldron, and it gives you a witch's cauldron. So this will give me all of these things. I also did this one, the Polynesia charm, which basically all I needed was a cod for that. I mean, a few other things, but I haven't used it or anything. And I get a fume filter out of that. I did the poppets, and I get a fire protection poppet. I had to create a water protection poppet. And I created a candelabra and chalice. Now this will give me a skeleton skull, which will help me out here. So let's put the skeleton skull on right away. There we go, and let's put it this way. Oops, shift click, there we go. And now I'm still up to 2272, so maybe the wither skeleton skull counts. So let's see, if I remove this, then I'm down to 1704. If I remove this, then I'm down to 1136, and if I put this back on, I'm probably back up to 2272 again, right? So only one of these things, yeah, 2272 is my current max power. So let's go ahead and put this stuff back in here, get it out of my inventory so that I have more room for more quest rewards. I did get a couple brews of love, which is interesting. I have no idea what they do. Alright, there we go. And then I created an attuned stone. I get 2 more attuned stones out of that. I actually created several. The attuned stones do require dragonstone, which requires the portal Alfheim. Then I get a death protection poppet from my poppet shelf. And then I made a distillery, and so I get gas tiers and more clay jars, or I get to pick between gas tiers and clay jars. And I can actually create gas tiers more easily than clay jars, I think, because I have to cook the clay in order to get the clay jars, and gas tiers I just get from the gas essences directly. So then the kettle thing, I get water bottles and glass bottles. That's not great. And then the spinning wheel, I get whiffs of magic, which is pretty good. I'll take that. And let's go ahead and throw everything that I got in here, like so. There we go. And make sure that no other quests are available to do. There are no other quests to do. So, also in this witchery tree, I'm trying to do this more mutation right now. So I got Mutandis Extremis. I needed to put Nether Wart and Mutandis in a witch's cauldron with like some amount of altar power to do that, but I was able to do that a lot of times, but it gives you this effect when you're holding it, which is kind of weird. So it looks like mobs are chasing you, but they're fake mobs. But then I'm trying to do this mutating sprig, and for the mutating sprig, I need, it doesn't actually say here, but it says in here, for the mutating sprig I need 3080 altar power, and if my cauldron isn't augmented by chalk circles, which it's not right now. So, and I don't have 3080 altar power yet, so I have all the ingredients in here, and it's ready to be made, but it can't be made yet, so that's kind of annoying. And one thing that could help me with the altar power right now is filling that chalice with a, I believe it's called a let's see, chalice. Here we go. If I fill it with redstone soup, and that involves a kettle with the tongue of dog, redstone, drop of luck, belladonna flower, mandrake root, and wool bat. And I have everything but the drop of luck, I think. Yeah. And for the drop of luck, it's here. I need to put these things in a witch's cauldron, and I already have my witch's cauldron full of stuff. So I may create a second witch's cauldron just temporarily, because I did create 2 anointing pastes, just to get that done without having to break the ingredients that are in there right now. But let's go sleep right now, and then I'm going to show you the other thing that I did. Now, I've been purposely avoiding looking one particular direction. That may be obvious, but you may have briefly seen it because I did look that direction. I did actually build something. You can see over here I took down the redwood tree, the giant redwood tree, and I didn't do that entirely by hand. I used a quarry to do that. There's a quarry in this mod pack, BC Builders, and I basically put it at the top of the redwood and had it dig down, and I used the extra battery, the energy cube that I had. I've refilled it since then, and just quarried part of it down. I also was able to use the lumber axe to, for some reason, I don't understand when, but sometimes it digs all the way up and sometimes it doesn't, and it dug a big chunk of the way up the trunk. And so basically up to about the point where all the leaves were was cleared out by my lumber axe, and then from the top down was cleared out by the quarry. So that redwood tree that was right around here is now gone. So that's nice. And then I thought, okay, I was thinking that, you know, when you're going to put machines and stuff, so I wanted a place to house all my machines and my electricity generation and everything like that. And what I was thinking was, the way that everybody does it is they make a factory, because that's the logical thing. Machines and electric power generation and all that jazz, that can go into a factory. But that's boring. Like, everybody does a factory. So I wanted to do something different, and I was thinking, what's a kind of thing that isn't often associated with machines and electricity and stuff like that. And the idea that I came up with was a water temple. And right now it's pretty ugly because of the brown water, but hopefully going down the witchery path, I'm going to be able to change biomes at some point relatively soon. And when I'm able to change biomes, the watercolor basically is going to sort of correct itself to blue, or, you know, whatever shade it is in the biome that I choose. So this water temple will look a lot better, I think, then. But for now, here's what it looks like. So from the outside, I have kind of this look, and on the sides it looks like this. I got a lot of water running down everywhere. I really like the features up there. In fact, let's first of all, let's look from back here a little bit. So you can see from this side it almost looks like a diamond. It's got a point on this side, on this second tier, and then the third tier is a big tower. And then from the other side, you'll see that it's actually not a full diamond. It is more like a wedge, because this is like a quarter circle here. And so I think that's pretty cool, that the second tier is basically a big wedge, and I really like the stripes of water coming down, and then we got a tower there, like I said. So the reason I built a tower and kind of have this big platform on top of the tower is because I intend to put the wind energy up here, because I wanted somewhere relatively high to put the wind energy, but I didn't want to put no wind energy, obviously. I want to be generating power that way as well. So this isn't going to quite hold as many pieces. Well, I mean, it could if I went all the way around, including the corners, but then it would be kind of a little bit harder to get the power out of the ones in the corners without looping wires around and making it look ugly. So I'm probably just going to leave the corners blank, and then I think I have something like Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 this side. So 30 total spaces, and I think I have 32 wind turbines. So only 2 are going to waste, which is fine. I'm not that concerned about that. And then up here we have just a pool of water. I don't know, I may do something up here eventually, may put some machines up here or something. It's going to be kind of tough to kind of manage to fit all my machines in here, but I don't think it'll be impossible. I think this particular area, there's a lot of vertical space that I can use, and some of the, like the big tanks and the big steam generators are vertical kind of structures. So I think it'll be possible, and I made so that there's water underneath this, and there are half slabs of blue glass. I decided to keep it green inside here with grass as the floor, but I have some blue flowers, and I may put more flowers in here, right, and mushrooms too. I may put more in here just to kind of fill it out a little bit more, or I may grow some grass. I haven't decided yet for sure, but you can see I did move the smeltery over here for now, and I also created a new temporary, or not temporary tank, but a new storage tank for my lava. It's this ultimate fluid tank. It holds 112 buckets, so that's pretty cool. And so that's what I've done over here as well. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is having a second beacon right here, so that it'll be kind of framing the water temple from over here, because right now it's sort of off center, which was not intentional. But actually, speaking of off center, at one point while I was building this whole structure from the half circle, or the wedge up, and even going down into the building, I had shifted off center by 1 block over here. And in order to fix that, instead of rebuilding the whole thing, because that would have been a pain, I didn't want to do that, I did this other thing, which was, let's see if I can remember the name of it. I think it's just called a builder. Well, yeah, we can look at it here. So here we go, the builder, which you have to give a pattern. So I had to create the pattern using the architect table. And so you put the architect table next to the place that you want to store kind of a structure, and you outline it with these landmarks, and then you store the structure in a blueprint, and then when you take the blueprint and put it in a builder, then it can rebuild that structure if you give it the proper ingredients. And so I just shifted the builder over 1 block and rebuilt it. It was still a little bit of a pain, but it wasn't that bad. So that was pretty good. But that's pretty much all I had to show you from between episodes. I did some witchery, and I did some building. And so I think what I'm going to get to next is continuing along with witchery. So I think what I want to do, like I said, is get that second cauldron up and running. Hopefully I have enough altar power for the redstone soup, or whatever it's called. And then when I get the redstone soup ready, then I'll put it in the chalice and hope I have 3080 power, although I'm not sure that I will. But if I don't, then I'll have to figure out something else to do, maybe chalk magic or something like that. But yeah, I guess I'll let you know when I cut back in. And welcome back. And you can probably tell from the lack of things on this peninsula that I have done a lot of work between cuts. It's been many, many, many hours of playing, and I'll show you what all I've done. Here, let's just grab this. So I've set up everything in here that I want to set up for now, at least, in my water temple. And you can see I have all the wires and stuff going around. That's the only thing I don't really like about this, is there's no real way to hide the wires in this pack as far as I can tell. You can make like panels, but they're, I don't know, they're not what I'm looking for. I wish there were like I think they're called like conduit facades, and there are, but they're not really implemented in this as far as I can tell. So you can see there's like a cable facade glass and a facade green stained glass, but and you can create them with cable anchors, but I don't think you can create anything but glass, or at least it's not in the recipe here. So that's, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't obvious to me that you could make facades. But yeah, I moved the vat in here. I think you saw last time I moved the smeltery in here. But I also have moved all the assembly tables in here. I have them all hooked up to the same barrel now, and the barrel is an import barrel. So I have an import barrel in the room down there for storage, and it just takes whatever's in the barrel and it imports it into the system. And the reason I'm doing that and not storing these barrels like with storage, buses in the system directly is because, oddly and annoyingly, if you're auto crafting, when your auto crafting is done, when your item goes into the barrel that has a storage bus on it, the system sees that item in the storage system, but it doesn't see that for auto crafting purposes. So your crafting, your sort of auto crafting setup doesn't realize that you've made the item that you've made, even though it's in the system now. So that's an annoying thing that I discovered that you have to work around. So my workaround is just to use import buses on just a single barrel. And I do have barrels over there with storage buses on them, and when the import bus takes the item out of this barrel, it goes into the correct barrel. But it then, because the import bus takes the item out, it then sees the item as if it's crafted, and then auto crafting works that way. So I don't know if that was a good explanation, but yeah, it's just an annoying little quirk about the storage buses and how that all works. But yeah, I've moved all my machinery over here. You can see the power comes back here. I have some auto crafting set up back here, especially with the basic smelting factory. I can create glass and stone that way. And if I need to do another smelting, just regular old smelting item, I can do that as well probably. I have the crusher ready to make any of these things, including biofuel, which I can create more of if I need to. I have the enrichment chamber ready to create obsidian dust just from obsidian, which is easy enough. So the other machines I would like to hook up interfaces to, but they're all way too complicated, unfortunately. So, okay, the osmium compressor I probably could, but I rarely ever use it. The rolling machine, you'd have to actually have a way of putting the items into the grid where you need them to go, and I don't think there's a way to do that. I just don't think there's a way to do that. So I don't think I could automate the rolling machine. The thermionic fabricator would take glass, although that's probably not a huge deal. So, but also it requires you to put the item in the shape that or the recipe in the shape that you need. And again, I don't know if there's an easy way to do that. Same with the carpenter. So none of those seem reasonable for auto crafting. I do have auto crafting set up on the bloomery furnace because the only thing that I ever make with it is the wrought iron ingot, and the only thing I have to do is come over and fill it with charcoal occasionally. Then the metallurgic infuser is annoying because it seems like something you should be able to auto craft stuff with, because it just has 2 inputs. And first of all, I tried with just a interface here, but because you have to set the side configs and there's no like config for both input and infuse, you can't just put a single export bus or whatever you want to call it, interface on one location on the metallurgic infuser, because it'll only take things into one or the other slot, which is annoying. And then I tried with item pipes from BC Buildcraft, and I tried putting one side into here, one side into here, and that works, except if you have a recipe with more than one metallurgic infuser kind of step in there. In other words, if you have to create both like alloys, enriched alloys, and the obsidian, I don't remember what it's called, the enriched obsidian or whatever, with the diamond dust and the obsidian dust. If you have to create both of those, then it can and will mix the two up annoyingly, so that you have, say, diamond dust in here, or say obsidian dust in here, and redstone alloy, or the alloy, the energetic alloy, or whatever you call that, in here, and those two things don't go together, so it won't make anything. It'll get stuck and back up. So that's annoying. So you could create like 4 or 5 of these, but I don't care. I'm just going to hand make the alloys at this point. And then I've got the coke oven over here. It's not currently making anything, and you can see I'm filling up this ultimate fluid tank with creosote oil. And then I have this steel tank, which I'm filling up with all the creosote oil that I got from outside, plus whenever this fills up down here. So that, because it takes 10 million buckets, or 10 million millibuckets, 10,000 buckets, I can store a lot of oil in here, basically, because otherwise I just have no use for the oil yet. And I may want to use it in the future to create treated wood, but I haven't wanted to do that yet. So I'll keep all the creosote oil for now in this tank. And then I have the blast furnace over here, which I now have 6 more steel from. There we go. You also see in my inventory here that I have ritual chalk and golden chalk from Witchery, and I've done several Witchery things. I mean, I had some of it done last time, but you can see that I've also moved all of that stuff. And you may have seen, if you're very perceptive, where I've moved it to. So you can see my entrance here is now quite a bit different than it was before. I don't have that ugly, ugly interior that I had before. My bed is out here for now. I probably will, or I will eventually build something to sleep, you know, a place to sleep, but I haven't done that yet. But now I have 2 structures plus a third sort of structure, a cave. And if I go in here, you can see, well, you can see it's got lots of skulls, skull candles. I got zombie skull candles, wither skull candles, and just plain old skull candles, just for kind of decoration. What's interesting about these is the light, the flame turns green when it's night. And as far as I can tell, nothing actually happens because of that. It's just an effect. So I think it's kind of cool, actually. And you can see I have my witch's oven in here. Then I have a whole bunch of overgrown stuff in here. And that's intentional because for the altar, you need as much, basically, life around it as you can get. So right now my altar has 4,400 power. And Dragonstone, or Dragon Egg, apparently helps with that. So I got 1,000 extra altar power from the Dragon Egg. But I also have lots and lots of plant life around, as you can see, and that's all helping too. And I still have my chalice, my candelabra, and my wither skeleton skull, which are all helping quite a bit as well. However, the chalice I would love to fill, and so I've been trying to make redstone soup in order to fill it, but there's one ingredient in the redstone soup that's really, really annoying. It's this drop of luck. It's the only thing that I don't have. It takes 5 items that I do have. Now I only have 1 refined evil left because I've tried this multiple times. It doesn't say in this recipe how much altar power it takes. And that's the annoying thing because, actually, I'm not going to show you, but there's a brews and infusions book, and the drop of luck is not in that. There's a distillery book, the drop of luck is not in that. There's a circle magic book, the drop of luck is not in that. So as far as I can tell, there is 0 documentation on how much altar power it takes to create the drop of luck, because I've tried more than once to drop all the ingredients in here and it just does nothing. So you'll see soon these, there we go, the flames have turned green, so that's pretty cool. So I think I really like that effect. But yeah, so I can't figure out how to do this drop of luck. I don't think I have enough altar power. I think that's my problem, because the failure that I'm getting is the same failure. It just does nothing. But that's the same failure that I've gotten in the past when I haven't had enough altar power to do something else. So I have a couple changes to make in there, obviously, anyway. As you could see, it's not really big enough because I was able to get the smallest circle there, right in front of the altar, but I'm not able to fit any of the bigger circles in here. I just didn't quite make the cave big enough. I need to really expand this cave if I want to continue my witchery stuff down here. But that would also allow me to put more plants around and hopefully get my altar power up a little higher. But for now, I think what I'd rather do is continue down the witcher tree, just doing what the book is asking me to do, because I think maybe that's the best way to go about that. So let's go ahead and accept the quests that I do have done. So I do get a circle talisman from this, which is really cool because I haven't crafted one of those. And then here I just get glowstone dust experience in a book. That's no big deal either way. Blood-soaked mail. What is this? Your quest for knowledge has led you to learn of a curious tome that is delivered from the skies to those who hold a specific mail order catalog. A task where the player has to craft specific items. So I'd have to get a mail order catalog. This is probably not witchery, but I'm curious now. Let's see. So that can be I can craft that easily. Easily. Let's do that. Let's keep this on me for now. So let's get a mail order catalog. Perfect. There we go. And then detection task. Once you have the mail order catalog, drop it on the ground to receive the order of a copy of Sanguine Scientium. You may want to stand back. So this is going to be about blood magic. And it says you may want to stand back, so I'm going to go ahead and do that over here. Out of the way. Right here is fine. There we go. Stand back. Nope. Okay, I should probably take my magnet off, shouldn't I? Not that one. That one. Oh, I hear a skeleton, probably underground somewhere. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. It's going to strike it with lightning. There we go. So I got Sanguine Scientium Blood Magic. Yep. So I got a Blood Magic book, and then, so I'll go ahead and claim that reward. I could do this. Let's see. 2 further tomes related to the darkest pursuits of blood magic and sanguimancy have come to your attention. Time to complete your collection. The glass shard necessary for the blood-burned tome can be obtained by breaking glass while holding flint. Okay, good to know, but I'm not going to get into that just yet because, like I said, I want to continue down the witchery. Now, if you remember, the main goal of witchery for me is to eventually get to this biome thing, the where I can change biomes. Although it takes a lot of ingredients, so it's going to be a slow it's going to be a slow process to get all the biome changes I want. But I saw some other cool rituals in the book. Some of them were to like grow a forest, for example, and or to like let nature invade was another one. So I want to try some of those as well because that sort of seems to fit along the theme of regrowth, which is the whole point of this. Oh yeah, I want to put the books away. Did I throw... I didn't throw the book in here, did I? I don't think so. No, I still have it. Okay, I'm going to throw these books in here. So the witchcraft can go in there. Sanguine blood magic can go there. Now let's continue with the witchery. Okay, so if we go back, we have one quest. Okay, so we actually have a quest in How the World Grows. What is that one? Oh, yeah, that was this. Okay. So more mutation. I did finally do this because I got enough altar power in the cave there to create the mutating sprig. But the only thing this really allows me to do is create mycelium out of grass, which I did do, as you saw right here. So I do have I did have a little bit of a use for it, but for now, I don't have a really strong use for that mutating twig. But yeah, so it's the redstone soup that I want to make. It says the first step is to brew some redstone soup, which is what I'm really trying to do, but I can't do that without that drop of luck, and the drop of luck I'm just not able to do. So maybe I should look into these. While wearing these robes, you seem to have better luck at producing more brews at once in a kettle. Well, that doesn't really help me because oh yeah, I am. No, I'm using, a cauldron. So I haven't even used the kettle yet, really. So, and creepers also seem oddly wary of you. So that would be interesting, but I'm not interested in that just yet. But I did want to see what this other thing is. Is this blood magic? Yes. Oh, no. This is more witchery. Okay, so I created the chalk, and my witchery is opened up. So now I get these 2 other kinds of chalk. So you can see I've crafted these kinds of chalk. And I'll show you how I did that in just a second here. But I can get the other 2 kinds of chalk, which is nice. So if I look at chalk, I'll show you how I did that. So for the ritual chalk, I needed wood ash, which you've seen. I just cooked down tree saplings, basically. The tear of the goddess, which I get from distilling breath of the goddess with lapis, which breath of the goddess comes from birch. And then the gypsum, which comes from distilling quicklime with foul fumes. And the foul fumes come from any sapling that doesn't give me something else, and the quicklime just comes from wood ash. So that's all that took, and then it gave me 2, so one of them I turned into golden chalk by throwing a mandrake root, a gold nugget, and a ritual chalk into the witch's cauldron. Of course, it again doesn't tell you how much altar power you're going to need, so I just had to hope that I had enough, but I did have enough, so I was good there, so that I was able to create the golden chalk. And then you saw I made the circle around the altar down here, which I can use to do circle magic now, but I can only do the circle magic that has circles of this size. And I don't know if you can see, but I actually had to move the tree trunk for the oak tree here back one. Yeah, you can't really tell, but that trunk back there is actually back one, but it's just kind of like a twisted tree now, which I think is kind of cool. So that is where I am now, but I wanted to go out and explore some and see if I can't find any witches to give me a quest so that I can start getting some witches in my coven. So I think that's going to be my next step. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out here, and then I'll cut back in when I have found something of interest. And we're back, and you can see I am not too far away from base, which is that central area there. And we have found something. So there's two things going on over here. I'm not sure what that is. That might not be witchery related, but this one I think is a kobold hut. Is that what it is? What is this guy? He's going in. He's running away from me. A hobgoblin. He's not going to attack me though. But yeah. So I think that's for witchery, but it's not something that I need at the moment. This, I don't know what this is, but I don't think it's witchery. Oh, it spawns zombie pigmen, but they aren't mad at me. It does have witchery glyphs around it though, so maybe it is witchery. Teleposer, no, that's blood magic. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh. Okay, no, it doesn't go down very far. So yeah, I'm not sure what... Oh, the infernal glyphs are actually from the red chalk, I just realized. The blocks themselves are from Thaumcraft, so I think this is a Thaumcraft thing. But that's interesting, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to continue to explore, but I'm going to do that between episodes because it's just about time to end this one. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.